Welcome to a Blood and Pigment ship review. I am Joseph, joined by
Guy.
and today we're looking at the Light Frigate from Firelock Games' Blood and Plunder line. The Light Frigate is a ship built for speed and war, and it costs 21 points.
This ship's max speed is 5 inches. It has a sail setting for 5 inches, 4 inches, 3 inches, 2 inches, and 0 inches. Its windward value is -2. It has a turn value of 3 inches.
The Light Frigate's hull fortitude is 5, and its hull integrity is 6, taking 24 hits to drop this ship's fortitude to 1. The rigging on the ship is a fortitude of 3 and integrity of 6. The Light Frigate's draft is 8.
This is a 3-deck ship. The forecastle can hold 18 models. The main deck can hold 28 models with medium cannons, or 32 without cannons. The poop deck can hold 21 models. An astounding 67 models can fit on a light frigate.
The forecastle can be equipped with 2 cannons and 2 swivels. The main deck can accommodate 6 cannons. The poop can fit 4 cannons, 2 cannon chasers, and 2 swivel guns.
The light frigate only has 2 special rules: stay sails and chasers.
This ship can be upgraded with 2 fighting tops for 2 points each. It can also be upgraded with sweeps 2 for 1 point. This is a good ship.
I know.
So many good things about this ship. I've seen this ship win a lot of games. 2 foremost things for me that give this ship a leg up are its fortitude of 5, which makes it very difficult to penetrate with cannons, and then its speed of 5 as well.
This was the first ship I bought, and I believe I won a lot of my early games just because even at 100 points, the light frigate can't be hurt very easily.
And it can get where it needs to go.
Yeah, in fact, 5 is this ship's lucky number. Its speed is 5, its whole fortitude is 5. 5 is even the best number of guns to have on the ship on each side.
Yeah, that's the other thing, that Middeck with the 3 pairs of cannons makes it hit pretty hard when you engage in cannon fire.
It's a great place to put your master gunner too, right there in the middle.
And give us command point to either end if you have cannons there.
Cannons or swivels.
Yep.
The ship has a lot of other things that really it shares now with other ships, but in the early days, this was the only ship that went 5 inches, and it was always a threat when somebody brought a frigate that they can just run away the whole game, and you can't do anything about it because your ship is slower.
Not very sportsmanlike.
Not at all, but we talked about it. Now, Joseph, does this ship have any major downsides?
Not really, in my opinion. It can go fast, it can hit hard, it's super tough. It is quite a few more points than the ship smaller than it, than the brigantine, sloop, even more expensive than the flute. But overall, I would count this as one of the stronger ships in the whole game.
It is. It is. It has earned its place with fire and blood.
I guess one slight downside that I've seen play out is its sail settings. They pretty sequential: 5, 4, 3, 2, and 0. So if you ever need to drop your sails or increase them, it takes a lot of work. If you get stuck on a reef and have to bring your sails down to 0 and then get going again, it'll take you pretty much the whole game. But that doesn't happen very often, but when it does, it can be vexing.
So that is 4 dedicated actions.
Yeah, so you have to plan ahead if you want to actually stop this ship.
I find this ship, even though I played it at all point levels, even we did that 100-point game where I had a frigate and 2 guns in the back because I modeled them in there, and it was fun. But this ship is really, it's hard to fit in a 200-point list. It's really hard to fit in a 100-point list. We've even made that 350-point challenge just so we could fight frigates against frigates, because there was really, we had to create our own challenge to play frigates against frigates because it's so expensive to arm this ship.
If you put the full complement of cannons and swivels on it and fill it with troops, yeah, it kind of starts shining. It feels like it's really complete at about 300, and you could easily fit 400 in it if you put good troops in it. At 200, you really have to choose your men wisely and leave out a lot of stuff you wish you could take.
Yeah, or only take gunners without pistols and make yourself a boarding target.
At least you can run away, right?
Yeah, in theory.
Yeah.
It does take 107 points to fully arm this ship with swivels and cannon.
Those
A
light
lot of
cannons?
Yeah, that's with medium cannons,
Okay.
and that's with chasers. Chasers, I have mixed results with as well.
I was going to ask you about that. What do you think of chasers?
I want to really like them. Um, in theory, with the light frigate, you can run away from somebody, and with the rear-facing chasers, just continually fire with them and maybe the back swivels. But that, like you mentioned, it's such a cowardly tactic that I've never even tried it.
Yeah, and shooting two cannons every turn, every other turn, all game is a pretty slow way to play a game. So I encourage you to be brave and use those broadsides.
Yeah, yeah, and swing that ship in close too. I've gotten some good chaser hits in games when I did buy chasers, but they only really ever fire once each game I buy them for.
That's been my experience too. Sometimes I've never even fired them, but I always feel so good when I actually get a hit with them, or so annoyed when somebody actually hits me with their chasers because I feel like I should deprive them of that privilege.
Yeah, I love the fact that telling somebody in the beginning of the game like, "Oh, I bought back chasers too," and then you'll get in there and get to turn 4 or turn 5, and you'll swing the ship around, and then your opponent is always like, "Oh yeah, you bought chasers."
Not another hit.
It really is a lot of fun.
What do you think of the stay sails trait on this ship?
I don't really know what to think. The stay sails have been useful a couple of times when there's a overlaying weather condition that reduces the speed of everything, or you have too much cannon sail damage, sail and spart damage.
Mhm.
Stay sails can help you then, so you're going at least you have some for momentum if you're going windward.
Right. Doesn't
But
happen very much in the ship because your lowest sail setting is 2 and your optimum, your fastest is 5, so you have to get whittled down a lot before that stay sail comes into effect.
and it has happened, and it's nice that that's there. 2 is better than 1 or 0, but
Yeah, much better.
this does not come up a lot, and that's kind of the weird thing with how good the light frigate is. Its only 2 special rules are stay sails and chasers.
Which aren't very good, either of them.
No, it really just it shows the power of the fortitude 5 and speed of 5.
The other tiny weakness in this ship is the swivel placement. This one only has 2 in the front and 2 in the back, none in the middle. So it actually is the weakest of the larger ships when it comes to swivel guns. And swivel guns are a big part of the game, very powerful. So again, that speaks to the rest of the ship's quality, that it doesn't even need those powerful swivels to still be very good.
Yeah, and in fact, if I'm trying to arm this ship, I will usually leave the swivels off to save those points for something else.
All
Because
of them? Wow.
yeah, because it makes such a good gunship when you focus on the guns. I will if I'm buying the forecastle cannon, which is only a single pair, and usually you should not buy because having a gun crew on a single cannon is a bad tactic.
It
But
does
if
feel kind of
I'm
sad, doesn't it?
Yeah, it is. They get one cannon. It's so
Boink.
embarrassing when that cannon misses too.
You had one
But
job.
yeah, exactly. But if you're arming that cannon, you might as well have the same crew man the swivels there as well. But the back swivels, I usually do not buy.
Makes sense. So this is a good ship to put a commander with broadside on, so you can fire all 5 or 6 guns simultaneously and get some critical hits on your opponent.
Yeah, and in fact, the gunship frigate is one of my favorite lists to run. It's feels powerful. It feels fun. Just taking a bunch of cannons, even before cannons were good.
That's right. They did decrease the cost of cannons quite a bit, which makes that light frigate gunship even better.
Yeah, the ship used to be, I thought it was 120 something points to fully arm instead of 107.
So if somebody wanted to add this ship to their fleet, how much would they be paying?
For the light frigate costs $100 or $99 on the Firelock site, and it is well worth it.
It is on the higher end of things, but yeah, it is well worth it. It will serve you well for a lot of different games, and it can be kind of your signature ship in a lot of ways.
It can be your only ship. It was kind of fun. Like what I said, this was the first ship I bought other than a longboat, and I made it work in a lot of different lists and really explored the whole game of and Plunder with just a frigate.
Frigate was actually one of the last ships I got. I got the sloop and brigantine first, and then bought some of the other newer ones as they came out. But for some reason, it took me a while to get around to the frigate. But I'm happy I got it.
So, Joseph, what would you rate the frigate?
First rate. Handed that one to me.
I did.
I'd say
I would rate the frigate unrated.
Unrated, yeah. This is unrated frigate. Excellent ship. I think this and the sloop are the two best ships in the game. This for the larger games, sloop for the smaller games. I haven't played the 6th rate enough yet to know if it will kind of outclass it, but I think it's going to be for even larger games. This is one of the ones that belongs in any fleet if you can make it happen.
The light frigate is that good. It should be on everybody's list for a ship purchase, and it makes your whole army work at sea.
You can find an entire article full of more good analysis and details on the light frigate over on the Blood Pigment blog, and this article is one that you wrote, isn't it, Guy?
It is. It is one of the first articles I wrote, and I really enjoyed it. The light frigate is one of my favorite ships.
Yeah, when it became time to write this article, I hadn't played it enough yet, and I knew you'd played it a lot, being your first ship, so I think...
I had played it almost too much.
I thought so. I'd lost too many times to it. Yeah, thanks for writing that. But over on that blog, you can find that article and articles covering all the other ships in the Blood and Plunder line and faction reviews and all sorts of good Blood and Plunder stuff over there.
And with that, this has been another Blood and Pigment ship review. Keep your dice ready and the wind at your back.